there, I'm Sarah Dobson, Managing Editor at Canadian HR Reporter. And today we're speaking with Anjana Moitra-Ohri, Vice President and Head of Human Resources at Roots. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
That's great. Well, first off, can you tell us why you decided to pursue a career in HR, and has the profession turned out as you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. As I was thinking about this question, it brought me right back to, being at UBC. I'd originally thought I was going to go into teaching, and HR happened a bit by accident. I had the opportunity to volunteer for about a month and a half in India teaching, and teaching an incredibly important and humbling experience it was for me. But I didn't come back feeling that sense of fulfillment that one would from such an experience. So I ended up taking some aptitude tests that pointed me in the direction of HR. And after a few informational interviews with people in the profession, I realized I was drawn to it because of its unique role at the intersection of people and business performance. So it really allowed me to play in spaces, leveraging strengths associated to process, systems, goal orientation. And then on the human side of it, social emotional intelligence, my passion for development of people, and my ability to influence. And so it kind of combined those things and was never about policies and administration, but truly about shaping community and unlocking human potential.
That's great. Yeah, people in business, certainly a great coming together there in HR. Well, I want to just talk a bit about what you've done in your career. And first of all, I know you've led some teams and projects that have improved employee well-being and performance. Not an easy task. Can you talk a bit about those?
I believe that you can have a culture of care that fuels results. So I do believe that organizations can be performance oriented and still care heavily about well being. And I bring this approach to my leadership by ensuring that success factors for both teams and the people on the team are clearly understood. So, how that has worked in my experiences the most successfully has been defining those success factors for teams and ensuring that there is both clarity where there needs to be clarity and an acknowledgement of where ambiguity exists. And then taking that same lens with the people that I work with on a day to day basis. What are their success factors, both personally and professionally? How do they feel about the clarity on the project, as well as the ambiguity that we're running towards with the work that we're doing? And what are their needs in terms of recognition, as well as psychological safety? In the course of trying to get to a project or achieve sometimes quite ambitious targets, you can need a space to vent or to release or to rest. And so I have found collecting information with both of those perspectives and then figuring out how to build bridges and create connections and spaces for rest and reflection as some of the most powerful ways to combine both employee well-being as well as this focus on performance and accomplishment.
Makes a lot of sense. That's great. Okay. Well, I know you've also worked at Coast Capital Savings and CIB Health, among others. Can you talk about why you decided to join Roots in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, first and foremost, it's difficult to not be a Canadian and look at Roots as a Canadian icon. So certainly, it's a heritage brand with cultural significance in Canada, and it was a chance for me to be a part of shaping both legacy and future. So that was most certainly a component of my role. I was really drawn to the pivotal moment that the company was in as well, repositioning for growth, strengthening profitability, and modernizing its operating model. These three things, as an HR practitioner, felt really exciting to be a part of. From a personal perspective, I saw it as a chance to elevate HR as a strategic partner in retail. And depending on your operating model, it can be a sector where people in retail locations are a core component of the brand. And it was a chance to bring greater visibility and impact to the HR function. When I decided to join Roots, it had actually aligned really well with personal aspirations. I was in the middle of pursuing my MBA at the time, actually, just finished about a month ago. And their support of that journey, in terms of the time commitment I needed, was a major factor in my decision. To me, it reflected Roots' values, their care for people, their commitment to community, and belief in long term growth. So that support, I felt, brought out the best in me, not only as a leader, but a student and as a mom.
Well, congrats on the MBA. That's great.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful journey, Ivy.
I'm sure. Well, yeah. So you're touching on this, but in your leadership role at Roots, can you talk about how you've led the people strategy during this pivotal period of business transformation?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, chatted a little bit about Roots entering a new phase of growth that called for sharper execution, refreshed structure, and deeper engagement. Some of the actions that I've been able to drive during my time here is introducing a stronger HR business partnership with the business, greater clarity and shared responsibility on objectives, and execution on what mattered the most. So, not shying away from discussing and debating what really needed to be focused on, and what things we might need to put to aside, including some of the harder decisions that we needed to collectively make. We have been focusing on leadership, service, and sales capability to handle change and growth, especially given the evolving consumer. We have spent some time modernizing our HR practices. Um, for example, we've refreshed our diversity, equity, equality, and inclusion strategy. We have streamlined our performance management and started to dig a little bit deeper into our talent management practices. We've also tried to address our employee experience in the process of just launching an employee engagement survey to really understand the sentiment of our workforce and understand, where they are, how are they feeling, what's most important to them, so we can continue being a workplace that honors our people and allows them to be their genuine self while at work, do great work, and feel a really strong sense of belonging.
It's great. Actually, I should ask just roughly how many employees do you have in Canada?
We have roughly 2,000.
That's perfect. Okay. And you're certainly alluding to this, but can you talk about some of the priorities for Roots in the next, I guess, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, so a few different priorities, along with, I feel like, every other company or future ready skills. We have been quite focused on strengthening and supporting leadership at all levels, from store managers to executives, to ensure agility, innovation, and resilience. We've also been really building up, before even building up, thinking about what is the customer experience that we truly want to create. And then what are those skills required to create that customer experience for those engaging with Root, as well as the sales capability that we'd like to see in our folks. One of the other areas that is a top priority for Roots is the employee experience, where we are looking at enhancing well being, inclusion, and development of our people to improve their engagement and retention in what is most certainly a very competitive retail labor market. Another area, again, which I feel is a popular topic across all industries, is digital and process transformation. We are expanding our use of AI, and in HR specifically, taking a look at our HRIS and other technologies within our HR tech stack to enable data driven insights for better decision making. And lastly, but very importantly, is culture. So continuing to evolve a cross functional collaborative culture in our business that reflects not only the communities where we live and work, but supports us being able to break down silos and barriers and really allow us to do the most important work that supports profitability and brand growth.
That's great. Well, sounds like you're doing everything needed to be future ready. And one final question. Of course, we've seen a lot around the Buy Canadian movement. Can you talk about how that has had an impact on Roots and your workforce planning?
Yeah, so Roots is a heritage brand with cultural significance in Canada. This has, certainly been an exciting time for us. It continues to inspire the work we do and continues to inspire the work that we do and impact we try to have on Canadians and more largely at a global scale. So the Buy Canada movement has, in no doubt, let's say, inspired a sense of pride um, within not only our organization but fellow Canadians who look to us and feel a sense of reflection of who we are and what our values are as a country and an organization, and it feels wonderful to be a part of that.
Perfect. Okay. That is great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been a pleasure.
And for more great content on all things HR, be sure to check out hrreporter.com.